Hi, I'm Ava.
And I'm Fiona.
Today we will be talking about frame narratives or frame stories.
So what is a frame narrative?
A frame story or frame narrative is a story set within a story, narrative, or movie told by the main or the supporting character.
A frame story is an introductory or main narrative that is presented for setting the stage. The frame story leads readers from a first story into another smaller story. The frame story may also be used to allow readers to understand a part of the story, then jump to another part that they can now understand.
According to my notes, many people confuse frame narratives for narrative structures. A narrative structure is an order in which the story is outlined.
In Frankenstein, there are multiple frame stories in this novel. For example, Robert Walton describes the story in his letters that he writes to his sister, which is told by Frankenstein. Frankenstein's story contains the tale of a creature, and the creature's story briefly contains the story of the family which he has been living with. In the movie The Titanic, Old Rose tells the story of her voyage in the Atlantic Ocean. When the reader gets into her narrative, they find themselves in the year of 1912, where the story begins. Only a few times do readers return to elderly Rose to get in touch with her experience. In Heart of Darkness, there are two narrators, the anonymous passenger traveling on a pleasure ship and Marlowe himself. Marlowe narrates his story in the first person, describing what he has seen and experienced. This provides a commentary on the entire story, acting as a frame story. Wuthering Heights also has frame stories. Emily Bront introduces Mr. Lockwood as the first narrator, who depicts his visit to the Wuthering Heights, and the narration switches to the perspective of Mr. Dean, who describes the estate's history. Readers are introduced to all the major characters.
In Canterbury Tales, frame narratives are used in different characters, each of whom tell a story. Together, the frame narratives build up dramatic relationships between the characters and within the tales that they tell. In the story Life of Pi, we see the use of frame narrative. Older Pi is telling the story of him being stranded in the ocean as a young child. Throughout the story, we see the story going from the present to the past and back and forth. In the film Inception, Leonardo DiCaprio goes into a dream, within a dream, within a dream, and so on and so forth. That is an example of a frame narrative. It is also said that the entire movie that we are watching is already a frame story, and we are going deeper and deeper into many other frame stories. So, what is a frame story? A frame story is a story within a story. So next time somebody is telling you a story within a story, you will know what they're talking about. Thanks for listening.